The Color of Fall, Chapter 11. Amber awoke to the soft glow of the morning light filtering through her window. She stretched, savoring the quiet and the warmth of her little room at the guest house. Her mind drifted back to her conversation with Sam the day before, to the way he had held her hand and told her he would support her no matter what she decided. She had never met anyone like him, someone so steady, so grounded, someone who made her feel like she could find her own way. Today they had planned a hike through the woods. Sam had suggested it as a way to clear their minds, to escape the noise and distractions, and Amber found herself looking forward to it with a sense of anticipation. She dressed warmly, pulling on a thick sweater and a scarf before heading out. When she arrived at the diner, Sam was already waiting for her. He stood by his truck, a thermos in one hand and a backpack slung over his shoulder. He smiled as she approached, and Amber felt her heart lift at the sight of him. "Ready for an adventure?" he asked, opening the passenger door for her. "Absolutely," Amber replied, climbing into the truck. "Lead the way." They drove out of town, the roads winding through fields and trees ablaze with autumn colors. Amber gazed out the window, taking in the beauty of the landscape, feeling a sense of calm settle over her. She could feel the city fading from her mind, the noise and chaos replaced by the peaceful simplicity of the countryside. After a short drive, they reached the trailhead, where the trees stood tall and ancient, their branches forming a canopy overhead. The air was crisp and fresh, carrying the scent of pine and earth. Amber took a deep breath, savoring the tranquility of the woods. They set off along the trail, their footsteps crunching on the fallen leaves. Sam led the way, his pace steady, his gaze focused on the path ahead. They didn't speak much, but the silence between them was comfortable, filled with the quiet understanding that had grown between them over the past few weeks. As they walked, Amber found herself lost in thought. The woods seemed to wrap around her like a comforting blanket. The vibrant colors and the soft rustling of leaves created a sense of serenity. She realized then how much she had come to love this place, how deeply it had embedded itself in her heart. After a while, they reached a small clearing where a fallen log provided the perfect place to sit. Sam poured them each a cup of coffee from the thermos, and they sat together, the warmth of the drink a welcome contrast to the cool air. "This place is incredible," Amber murmured, looking out at the trees that surrounded them. "I feel like I could stay here forever." Sam nodded, his gaze thoughtful. "That's how I feel about Maplewood. It's not just a town, it's a part of who I am. I don't think I could ever leave it behind." Amber looked at him, her heart aching with the knowledge that her decision would affect more than just herself. She wanted to stay, but she knew that choosing Maplewood meant letting go of the life she had built in the city, the career she had worked so hard for. "Do you ever wonder what might have happened if you left?" she asked, her voice quiet. Sam glanced at her, his eyes warm. "I used to, but then I realized that everything I need is right here. My family, my friends, my life, and now you." Amber's breath caught in her throat, and she looked away, her cheeks flushing. She hadn't expected him to say that, to include her in the list of things that made Maplewood home. But the more she thought about it, the more she realized that she felt the same way. Sam had become a part of her life, a part of her heart, in a way that she hadn't thought possible. They sat in silence for a while, each lost in their own thoughts. Amber sipped her coffee, letting the warmth spread through her, grounding her in the present moment. She knew that she had a choice to make, but for now, she was content to simply be here, to savor the peace and the beauty of the woods and the presence of the man beside her. After a while, Sam reached out his hand, finding hers. He held it gently, his thumb brushing over her knuckles, and Amber felt a surge of warmth and gratitude. "Whatever you decide," he said softly, "just know that I'll be here. I'll support you, no matter what." Amber turned to him, her heart full. "Thank you, Sam. That means more to me than you know." They finished their coffee and continued along the trail, their hands still intertwined. As they walked, Amber felt a sense of clarity begin to form, a growing certainty that Maplewood was where she belonged. She wasn't sure how or when she would make her decision, but she knew that whatever happened, she had found something real and lasting in this place, and in Sam. When they returned to the truck, the sun was beginning to set, casting a golden light over the woods. They drove back to town in comfortable silence, the radio playing softly in the background. Amber felt a sense of peace settle over her, a feeling that she was exactly where she was meant to be. As they pulled up to the diner, Sam turned to her, his expression soft. "Let's keep things simple. No pressure, no expectations, just you and me, figuring it out as we go." Amber smiled, her heart swelling with gratitude. I'd like that a lot." They stepped out of the truck and made their way inside, the warmth of the diner enveloping them like a familiar embrace. Amber knew that her journey wasn't over, but for now, she was content to simply be here, to savor each moment as it came. And as she stood beside Sam, watching as he prepared to close up for the night, Amber felt a sense of hope for the future, a belief that whatever came next, they would face it together. If you like this chapter, please leave a comment. Don't forget to share and follow, and stay tuned for Chapter 12 of The Color of Fall.